Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattocks, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
No one has ever in the history of the world been talked out of negativity. You can't talk your way out of it. The thing that will help you become less negative is becoming aware of the ruffians in your internal dialogue. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt manifest themselves in all manner of thinking. And when you allow that thinking and feeling, for that matter, to control your behavior, you have become a negative person. It's pretty straightforward. That negativity and the reasons for it we've gone over during the course of the week. But when you want to overcome those things, the very first thing we need to do is bring those ruffians to light. The ruffians only operate in darkness. They only operate when they can't be seen, when their impacts can't be meaningfully understood or felt. Once you know what it is that's holding you back, the thought processes, the emotional processes, you're able to pull them into the light and start around the edges, nibbling away at these things that keep you fearful and those statements in response that keep you stuck. Becoming a negative person is something that happens over the course of a lifetime. It happens because you have created negative reinforcement loops that keep getting your needs marginally met in small bites. And getting over that is going to take just as long. One of the bigger things that you can do, one of the things that we recommend you do, even in our ritual work, is spend time in reflection. That sanctum sanctorum. Sit and reflect and watch your mind do its backflips. Watch your emotional state come and go like the wind will come and go. As you get used to watching these things, allowing them to do what they do, you begin the process of creating separation. Separation from words and deeds, separation from thinking and feeling, and those separations buy you the cognitive distance and the emotional distance you need to make meaningful decisions. If every time you get upset, you fly off the handle, you don't have that space between upset and behavior, you're going to keep doing it. When you start creating this mental and emotional space between what you're thinking and feeling and how you react, you gain the opportunity for reflection, analysis, clarity. Those things, as they emerge, you can then start from a rational perspective, in a reasonable kind of manner, begin the process of taking small risks. As I said, you don't get to become an expert at fighting lions if you are terrified of mice. So you fight the small battles first. Maybe it's public speaking. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's, coordinating other people's behavior. Maybe it's just having the courage to go to the gym this one time. Every time you overcome these three ruffians, every time you beat them at their own game, you've taken the fear, uncertainty, and doubt and fought it and done some small thing to move you forward. You begin the process of becoming a less negative person. When you're working with others that are negative, the same thing is true. You can't talk them out of it, but you can help them take an action. If you find that every time you start down the path of taking an action, their resistance comes up in the conversation, they'll say things like, no, I don't know if I can take on more work right now, or no, I don't think I understand the problem enough. They're going to throw up this resistance. Just understand that that's kind of the way their mind is reacting with fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Maybe you ask him about it. What are you afraid of? Somebody asked me that the other day on a podcast, and it was an odd thing because I hadn't thought about what I was afraid of in so long. When you start thinking about these things and start thinking through these things, you begin to create freedom in your life. You begin to create agency in your life. You begin to not be a victim to these invisible ruffians trying to control you and sap your agency. And that's the process. Go out, try and have the courage. Face these things. You have a strong, powerful week ahead of you.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.